Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for One Piece chapter 1032. When we last left our heroes, Big Mom was not taken down at all by Kid and Law's awakening attacks, but she did acknowledge she would have to get stronger than she was, and so she gave up a year of her life to become even bigger than she was before. Meanwhile, negotiations between Drake and Apoo were falling apart. Yamato came in on his way to the armory. And so some form of, not quite alliance, but at least agreement emerged between Drake and Yamato as they're both on Luffy's side. Apoo tried to form an alliance with Yamato, but he wasn't really having it. Meanwhile, the CP0 guys have decided to just make their move and kidnap Robin themselves, so Brook and Robin are on the run from them. Meanwhile, again, Sanji is still dealing with the sudden changes to his humanity. Most personified in the moment when he strikes a young geisha woman. And so he is very, very terrified that he's about to become the same kind of heartless monster that his brothers are. And so he tells Zoro, if I come out of this battle inhuman, something that's not me, kill me. Zoro agrees, and then Queen appears, and Sanji begins the fight against Queen anew. And that's where we left off. So let's dive right on into chapter 1032, Odin's Beloved Blade. And our picture here is Black Cats and Yamato making deliveries. And it's a cute little picture of Yamato and some cat people delivering some food to an old lady up the hill. It's fun, it's fine. But anyway, we open with Marco and Izo. And Marco asks, so what's going on, Izo? Why am I carrying a wounded man around? I'm assuming the wounded man there is Izo. He's just like in Marco's talons. And Izo tells him, sorry, it's just that message earlier. The outcry about an enormous apparition has me feeling uneasy. Where was that enemy before? That's Kazenbo he's talking about, right? The bomb that Kanjuro drew. And Marco notes, sounds like the castle's on fire. Be careful, Izo. And Marco tells him, I know. And then we have this like glimpse as they fly past Big Mom. We see, I think these are the beast pirates trying to push through. The samurai are blocking the exit. Bring out the cannons. We're going to burn alive if we don't get through to the open. So I guess Kazenbo is just like creating mass panic. We then cut to the second basement level, back with Apoo, Yamato, and Drake. Apoo calls out, wait, young Master Yamato, hear me out. And Yamato just calls back, we're just tired of him. I'm busy right now, don't follow me. And Drake yells, Apoo, haven't you learned your lesson yet? And it's Fuga, we see at this point the chase is like leading into a bit more of a populated area. Fuga is still doing something. There are some beast pirates running from Fuga. Ah, it's the numbers! Yamato knows, Fuga, it's nice to see you again, but I'm in a hurry. I'm curious what exactly is the relationship between Yamato and Fuga there? Because he says it's nice to see you again, but I'm in a like they're friends almost. Fuga just says, Fuga! But then we see a merry announcement to all sectors from the second floor. And meanwhile, a couple familiar figures are falling from the upper floor. The enormous fire monster is headed to the basement. So yeah, they were having Kazenbo on his way to encounter Yamato. Yamato reacts, what? And then those familiar figures, who are Brook and Robin, land right on Fuga's hair. So I think this is going to be the first time they meet Yamato, actually. But anyway, Brook falls, huh? A cushion? But Robin corrects him, no, this is hair. And Fuga just lets out a confused Fuga, as Robin lets out or I think that might be Brook. Whose? But the CP0 duo comes flying down towards Robin and Brook. Brook draws his cane sword. Here they come, and Robin readies her hands. Excuse me. We'll just have to fight. But behind CP0, we see a certain flaming apparition. Robin looks on, huh? And Brook notes, hold on, what is that? And the smaller of the two masked men look back. And they, like, catch fire. They just burn. I'm not sure if we're supposed to assume that they're dead, but they are burning. Shocking Apoo, who just looks on, huh? And the beast pirates are all, it's huge! The Mary continues, its goal is unknown. It keeps moving downward. Of course, that's where the armory is. And then someone else calls out, that's the fire creature they're talking about. And Yamato looks back as he runs. What is that thing? It's passing through walls. Going lower. He's about to work out where it's going, I think. If it goes any further down, and he notes that, a couple floors down in the second basement is the armory. No! Anything but that! The entire island's going to explode! Fuga, I need your help! And we see... I love Brook has, like, jumped off of Fuga's hair in his cool little pose. Fuga knows Fuga! But then Robin and Brook look on. Apparently CP0 is not dead, because Robin notes CP0 is on the other side of the flames. And Brook agrees, they'll be after us again soon. Let's hurry. And we see the smaller of the two CP0 members is still standing. He hears a clicking noise and says, And we see it's Apoo, who's shooting at him. Okay. Lapdogs, it was like, are those supposed to be like camera flashes? Yes, camera flashes with like a camera den mushi, I think. Lapdogs, the celestial dragon spotted in Kaido's castle. What a scoop this is. I bet Morgans will pay big for these pics. After losing their arms broker Doflamingo, the government has finally stooped to... And the CP0 tells him, don't get in over your head. And he just pummels Apoo. First, though, interesting thing is, was it... I guess Apoo is already is currently attempting to cut ties with Kaido anyway. So it's not the biggest thing in the world that he's planning on selling out the fact that his own boss is working with CP0. I feel like that might tank Kaido's reputation just as much as it would tank CP0's, I think. Either way, the man just whacks him. Just knocks him out. Apoo falls. No, that's Drake, actually, who questions Apoo. And we see Apoo is just lying there, defeated. It's One Piece, so he's probably not dead, but, beat up pretty bad. And CP0 looks at him. Drake, do you think we're not aware of exactly who you are? And Drake snaps, then why don't you start with some excuses? And the man readies his fist. Inconvenient truths are meant to be erased. But that's an interesting thing, because Drake is a member of SWORD, right? The CP0, the Marine, he's a Marine, is my point. And so he should be allied with CP0. So why is the CP0 man killing him or attacking him? But Apoo, it looks like, hits the CP0 guy with one of his explosions, protecting Drake. Boom! And the man goes flying. Apoo sits up, still beaten, but like alive. Man, that hurt. Stupid government assassins. And Drake looks at him. Oh, you're still alive. Yeah, I know how to use a little thing called armament hockey, idiot. They're gonna pay now. And you're in the Navy, aren't you? Yeah, he worked that one out. But Drake just tells him, shut up. Are you in or are you out? They started this fight. No, you did. I think it's really safe to say that they started it, I think. Oh no, it was technically the pictures that started all this. So yeah, it is kind of Apoo's fault. I'm grateful though, because, as long as they're not going after Robin. But anyway, Apoo just says, of course I'm in! And he goes to kick at the giant CP0 member, and Drake goes straight into his T-Rex form to attack the man and roars. So yeah, I don't know where I was expecting the Apoo and Drake stuff to go. I was not expecting them entering into an unholy alliance to fight CP0. I guess just for kicks. Like, they don't have that much of a motivation to be going after them. You know, these guys, like, if Apoo hadn't taken those pictures, they would have been perfectly fine. But Apoo just started some drama, and so he and Drake both have to sort of live with the consequences of that. Anyway, we then cut to outside the dome, Zoro versus King. I'm guessing this is where we'll get into Odin's beloved blade, our chapter title, given that Zoro's new sword that he got earlier in the arc is Odin's blade. I do love, though, we get this establishing shot of Onigashima, and we just have Momo, who's just still there. Good for him. But we zoom in on King in his pterodactyl form, flying around the island, as Zoro just can't really fly to catch him. Okay, so King grabs the little horn part of the pterodactyl head, right? And he pulls it up, and something's happening there. And Zoro just watches, we see he's exhausted, breathing heavy, like everyone is at this point, because despite this whole raid's been going on for 50 some odd chapters now. Huh. So he's supposed to pull in the back of his crest like that? And he pulls back, Imperial Deep Pride, and he lets go. His head is zooming towards Zoro, shocking him. Deep Pride, Steak! And it just slams into Zoro. It blows up the ground at Zoro's feet. He's sent flying. Ah! How can you block that? It's like a laser beam. And King tells him the pteranodons of the ancient past, pteranodon, not pterodactyl, my bad, hunted their prey just like this. Once again, Oda's just making shit up with his dinosaurs, and we love to see it. It's good shit, as always ridiculous, never change, Oda. And Zoro gets back up and stares at him. Damn it, I had no idea. And then he readies a sword slash and swings it, the force turning it into a projectile. 360-pound Phoenix! But King just dodges it. And then Zoro is now on the run from all of King's attack. I gotta figure out a way to land a hit. Otherwise, I'm just wearing myself out. And then he calls up, I'm guessing that flame on your back is another Pteranodon feature. But King, don't forget, I think the flames have been either stated or heavily implied to be part of the Lunarian thing. So King tells him, it's not. It's not! But Zoro just kind of snaps. Tired of this guy lording it over me. I gotta knock him down to the ground first. 3 sword style. And we have this image of a dragon behind Zoro. King is sort of shocked. He's coming in for an attack, but Zoro is about to make his move. Black rope dragon twister! And he creates this huge fucking tornado. King is caught up in it. He's largely defending himself, though. He's blocking the slashes with his wings. Oh, so it's like instead of wind, it's like this sort of projectile-style sword slashes that are hitting King. Okay. So between the dragon and the dinosaurs, you guys soak up damage like nobody's business, huh? And King sort of acknowledges that, true. But in my specific case, it goes even beyond that. And he then enters into his hybrid form, I think. But that might be his normal human form. Because we have those wings. And those look much more like angel wings than like dinosaur wings. So that might just be a Lunarian genetic or like racial feature. I don't know, but King brings his giant blade down to bear on Zoro. Fine, I'll give you a sword fight. I do enjoy a good deal. And Zoro's put back on defense. And he's stuck thinking, I've hit him with a few slashes, yet he's not bleeding. His wings move, so I know they're not ornamental, but I can't be sure if he can use them to fly. So he's starting to really look at King, and specifically the unique features of King that probably lead to some more Lunarian revelations, maybe? Maybe we're about to have King's mask fall off. I don't know. The flames keep burning on his back. Excuse me. I assume they were part of his powers, but apparently they're not. And Zoro is slowly getting pushed further and further back by King. See a fishman? Giant blood? No, I bet it's from some race I've never heard of. As he thinks that, he's kind of right there. King sends him flying back into a boulder. I gotta solve whatever this is, or else I'm not, and Zoro falls, gonna be able to beat him. And we see Zoro's like lying on the ground, just breathing heavy, and all of a sudden, so there's this kashunk sound effect. As he asks, what's that sound? Maybe that's the sound he's referring to? A shamisen? No, that can't be right. And we see from one of the swords this mist appearing, this hiss sound effect. And his sword catches fire. Enma is... And then we come down to the treasure repository, where Orochi is. And I'm guessing, where is the treasure repository on the map? I don't know. But we see this papang sound, which I'm guessing is the shamisen, because Orochi thinks, shamisen playing? That's nonsense. In the midst of battle, what trick is this? It's coming from the next room. And he leans through, he opens the door a crack and looks in. It's so bright. Someone's in there. Is it an enemy? Do they know I'm here? And he looks in, and he becomes shocked and terrorized. What? Komurasaki? Oh, Hiyori's here! I was wondering when I had almost forgotten about Hiyori. I'm glad she's finally showing up. And Orochi enters into the room, not aware, of course, that Komurasaki is the daughter of Odin. Oh, have I died and gone to heaven? Or is this just a dream? Since that terrible day, I have not spent a night without dreaming of you, my dear. I cannot forget you. Oh, and right, Orochi thinks that Hiyori is dead, because Denjiro did that whole thing where he pretended to kill Hiyori, but actually, secreted her away from the castle. And Hiyori looks at him. Neither can I, my lord. I am always by your side. And Orochi weeps. If this is a dream, I don't want to wake up. To be continued. Okay, so, there's a lot going on here, and it's all very, very good. So let's look at it piece by piece. We get a little bit of Marco and Izo, and they're largely just there. I'm curious if they're supposed to be going after Kazenbo. If they are, I think they might have just missed him. Oh, no, because they're in a different spot than Kazenbo is. Right, because we changed locations going into the second page. So I think maybe they're going to find their way to Kazenbo before too long, where Yamato and Robin and Brook and Drake and Apoo and the CP0 guys all are. I can see that happening very soon for them. But speaking of all that stuff, just a lot going on in that second basement scene. A little bit of Yamato continuing his job, kind of starting to get an idea of what exactly Kazenbo is doing here. But then we get that fun stuff with CP0, as Apoo kind of maybe overextends himself a little bit, trying to get dirt on Kaido, on CP0, on just wanting to create drama for drama's sake, and it almost kills him, and at the very least getting him into a fight with CP0. So, we'll see how well he holds up with that, because, CP0. But I'm excited to see some more of Apoo and Drake tag teaming CP0. It's the thing I expected the least out of this chapter. Is the thing that surprised me the most is just Apoo and Drake are not only no longer at odds, they're now fighting CP0 of all people. Which, again, not sure how that's going to handle Drake's standing in the Marines, given that the Marines kind of work for Cypherpole. Or Cypherpole is a subset of the Marines, or however exactly that hierarchy works there. Anyway, we then get some more stuff with Zoro and King, as Zoro is making some headway against King. Not a whole lot. Not as much as King is making on him. But Zoro was also starting to think through what exactly King's deal is. And I figure the answer to that is going to be very important to how Zoro will win this fight in the end. And then we have Enma bursting into flame. I'm curious is it Hiyori's shamisen playing that's causing it? Or is it like, as that was the blade of Odin, is it just like connected to her Kozuki blood or something? I don't know, but somehow Enma is getting a power up, and Hiyori is here. And I do think I'd be very, very happy if Hiyori is the one to finally, for like the fourth fucking time at this point, kill Orochi. It's time for Orochi to die. He's had his 3 death scenes at this point, I think. It's time. But yeah, it's where we leave off with Hiyori, here with Orochi, who definitely thought she was dead until like 5 seconds ago. And I don't know exactly how that's going to play out beyond hopefully Orochi like sticking a knife, or Hiyori sticking a knife into him. But yeah, thankfully, no hiatus next week. We're going to be right back here on, and it's Sunday. And I can't fucking wait. One Piece is long, but One Piece is, as always, great. So, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you'll enjoy the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe. Do whatever makes you happy, And as always, your life is your own, okay? Bye!